In round 1, start with 1 chain stitch, and then work 6 crochets. Finally, end with 1 snip stitch. Yarn over the hook and put the yarn through the loop on the hook. That's a chain stitch. The chain stitch is trace height and will not be counted into number of stitches. Then work 6 crochets. Insert hook into the magic ring. Yarn under the hook and pull up loop through the ring. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Then yarn over the hook and put the yarn through both loops on the hook. That's a single crochet. Such a V shape is formed on the side. Each V shape stands for 1 stitch. Place a marker in the first stitch, through the underneath of both loops of the V shape. We need to mark the first stitch of every round. Continue to work 5 more single crochets in the same way. Six V shapes on the side stand for 6 crochets. Pull the yarn tail tight to close the ring. Remove the marker and work 1 snip stitch in the first stitch to join this round. Insert the hook into the mark stitch. Yarn under the hook and pull up loop through the stitch. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Then pull the first loop on the hook through the wrench loop on the hook. That's 1 snip stitch. The snip stitch serves as a connection. It's not counted into the number of stitches. Round 1 is done. In round 2, start with 1 chain stitch, and then work 6 increases. Finally, end with 1 snip stitch. Yarn over the hook, and put the yarn through the loop on the hook. That's a chain stitch. The chain stitch is trace height and will not be counted into number of stitches. Then work 6 increases. Increase means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. First, work 1 single crochet in the first stitch. Insert hook into the first stitch where we just worked the snip stitch of last round. Yarn under the hook and pull up loop. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Then yarn over the hook and put the yarn through both loops on the hook. That's a single crochet. Mark the first single crochet. Insert hook into the same stitch. Yarn under the hook and pull up loop. Then yarn over the hook and put the yarn through both loops on the hook. The second single crochet is done. That's 1 increase. Continue to work 5 more increases in the same way. we need to work 2 single crochets in each stitch. Six increases are done. Remove marker. Insert the hook into the first stitch. Yarn under the hook and pull up loop through the stitch. There are 2 loops on the hook now. Then pull the first loop on the hook through the return loop on the hook. That's 1 snip stitch. The snip stitch serves as a connection. It's not counted into the number of stitches. Round 2 is done. Pay attention to the yarn's tightness during crocheting. If the yarn is too tight, we can't insert the hook easily. If it's too loose, the fabric will be out of shape. In round 3, start with 1 chain stitch, and then work set off 2 single crochets or increase for 4 times. Finally, end with 1 snip stitch. Work 1 chain stitch first. The chain stitch is dress a height and will not be counted into number of stitches. The first set. Work 2 single crochets. Mark the first single crochet. And continue to work 1 more single crochet. In the next stitch, work 1 increase, which means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The second set. Work 2 single crochets. In the next stitch, work 1 increase, which means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The third set. Work 2 single crochets. In the next stitch, work 1 increase, which means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. The fourth set. Work 2 single crochets. In the next stitch, work 1 increase, which means working 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Remove marker. and work one slip stitch in the first stitch to join this round. Round 3 is done. The side facing us is the front of the fabric. This side with the yarn tail is the back of the fabric. We'll crochet with the front side always facing towards us.